Welcome to the Director's Cut of Christian Nutrition, the show where we review every single episode of VeggieTales chronologically. And by we, I mean just me. Here we are with the final Christmas special of the month and the last episode of 2015. Now, we all remember the last episode, the Toy Save Christmas. It was a major letdown, huge disappointment. But now we have the Star of Christmas, hopefully the saving grace of this month. The Star of Christmas was released in October of 2002, which is after Jonah VeggieTales movie. But we're tackling that at a later date, so don't worry about that right now. I really don't have that much to say about this episode, but I do shudder at the thought of Buzzsaw Louie or Junior showing up. Let's do this anyways.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Another job well done.
Hold up, did I miss something? Usually in the beginning we get like Bob and Larry on the countertop talking to us, telling us what's going on. Maybe somebody sent a letter, but here it's like I'm missing something, and I've double checked. Like I went online and researched to make sure that I didn't miss something. No, this VeggieTales episode literally just goes straight into the story. No fluff at all. This is a fantastic start. Why didn't they do this with the Toy Save Christmas? Our story starts off with Bob and Larry not being quite satisfied with what they have done with their lives so far. Bob really wants to make a difference in the city of London, and he has a big idea. Pun intended.
Yes, Millward, that poster. What does it say?
The Princess and the Plumber, a musical spectacular.
Oh, no. Let's not. The last time we had a spectacular done by Veggies, it was a bigger waste of time than a show that reviews VeggieTales episodes.
And when does it say the show opens?
Christmas Eve. Just 3 days.
This is very important to keep in mind. It's not funny or anything, but do remember that Bob and Larry have a show opening in 3 days to the public, meaning that for the first time the public will witness this show that they've been preparing and creating and working on. So it's December 21st, essentially. 3 days.
But there's a little problem with that, Millward, isn't there?
Problem?
You haven't finished writing it yet!
He hasn't even finished writing the play. That opens in 3 days. Do you understand why I said it was so important? The absurdity of what is being presented here is astounding. This is basic Veggieception, folks. Move along, nothing to see here.
This is our big break. We may never get a chance again. It's our big break, so we're gonna do it right. It's our big break. The peas are gonna dance again. It's our big break, just like opening night.
Phew, for a while here, I thought we weren't gonna have any singing in a VeggieTales episode. I'm glad I was mistaken.
You need to show the audience something they've never seen before.
You got a monkey that can yodel?
Please say yes, Bob. Please say yes.
No, Millward. Electric lights!
0 out of 10. Not impressed, Bob.
But doesn't the Royal Theater across town already have electric lights?
Sure, on the building. That's easy.
Bob?
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
We're gonna string electric lights on the scenery itself.
Wow. Can you do that?
It's a bit of a fire hazard, but...
What will it take to get you people to care about fire safety? If we have to kill the thing you love, so be it. Smokey's gone, and he's never coming back.
And that it stars his favorite actress, Miss Effie Pickering. Huh? Effie Pickering is in your musical? Well, not yet, exactly.
Wait a second, are you telling me that not only has the script not been written for a play that's premiering in 3 days, but the casting hasn't even been completed? This is bound to be an unmitigated disaster.
You have 2 minutes to convince me I should be in this musical, The Princess and the Plum.
It's The Princess and the Plumber.
I see Madame Blueberry has really become full of herself. If it isn't one thing with her, it's another.
The Royal Theater has electric lights too.
On the scenery?
Bob is a madman!
Can you do that?
Oh yeah.
Bob, stop hitting on the talent. After fibbing to Madame Blueberry that the prince would be showing up to the play, which, by the way, fibbing is a subject I swear we tackled before. I'd have to double check though. She agrees to the role. Bob then tells her the point of the production is to have London love each other again. She doesn't care. At all.
All new Christmas production, St. Bart's Church. Christmas Eve?
Hold on, why does Bob look like he's worried about a church play? He has to know that literally every church is probably doing this around Christmas.
You don't stage the biggest Christmas pageant London has ever seen by taking a break.
I don't get paid enough to deal with the pain and suffering that Junior causes me.
I think I'm allergic to cotton balls.
Wear a clothespin on your nose. You'll be fine.
Junior is ruthless. I like it.
The story of Christmas is so simple, so powerful. Sometimes a simple presentation is the best way to let the message shine through.
Don't listen to him, Junior. You have a basic set going on at best. Your dad just wants you to be a slacker. Don't listen to him. I believe in you.
Dad, do you have to do it now? The pageant.
Isn't as important as helping people in need, Edmund.
I don't totally agree with the dad on this point. I do understand what he's saying. You know, helping the needy and the poor is important, and it sure is. It shows the kindness of Christ. But at the same time, this Christmas play could bring people to Christ as well, and or remind Christians of Jesus and what he has done for us, which is equally important to get us in the right mindset after all the shopping and craziness that is December. Needless to say, both things that they're doing are equally important in my mind. I'm gonna have to just side with Junior. Ugh.
He came to us to help us and to show us how much he loved us. And she shall give birth to a son, and they shall call him Emmanuel.
Yeah. What is Junior's pageant about then? The Easter Bunny? It is literally all about those things that the dad just talked about. Wait, I'm defending Junior. What does this world come to?
Church committee met, and they decided that you could use the Star of Christmas in your pageant.
He said it! He said it! All I'm saying is, what if this is as good as it gets? There it is! There it is!
The only way for me to solve this crisis is to be Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
It's just a bunch of kids putting on a church play.
Wait, was Bob really just spying on a church pageant? What does he have to be worried about? He has an actual production with a budget and actors. He should be blowing them out of the water without any issue. Albeit the script's unfinished and he just casted his lead role recently, but nonetheless, it shouldn't even be a competition.
I wonder what a Star of Christmas is, anyway. Beg pardon, were you asking about the Star of Christmas?
Now his accent makes sense. Please, Archibald, steal the show.
That's astonishing! The star hasn't been publicly displayed since February 12, 1803.
Mind you, we don't know what year it is yet. The year 1803 could have just been a couple years ago.
Stop the presses! I've got a dandy! London needs to know about that pageant!
I want to say he's overreacting. Junior kind of casually was given the Star of Christmas for his church pageant by his dad. It really didn't seem like that big of a deal. It hasn't been seen in 79 years. Wait, why is Junior being allowed to touch it again? Bob and company realized that this Star of Christmas is really going to be a thorn in their side. After all, the pageant is the same day as their production. They couldn't possibly change the date or the time of the production so it doesn't have to compete. Of course, had they been better prepared and not waited till 3 days prior to getting the main lead and finish the script, then they could have. Bob says all they need is the prince to come, and that will seal the deal on their show of being the big hit, the one to see.
That was the prince.
And?
He'll be in the front row at the church pageant. He's not coming.
The star better be the bee's knees.
We need the prince to see our show, but he's gonna go see the Christmas pageant. So what do? Kidnap him! Is that legal?
No.
Well, there goes my entire list of ideas.
I guess the only way the prince would come to our show is if he thinks it'll be even more impressive than the Star of Christmas.
Short of kidnapping, which I hear is illegal now.
The internet should be outraged over this travesty. What has happened to just a good old-fashioned kidnapping? Bob thinks to himself that the only way to get the prince to come to his production and not see the Star of Christmas is by upping the production values. He wants lights everywhere, to the point where the actors have lights on them as well. To be frank, he is getting out of hand. But despite all this extra pizzazz, the prince still won't attend Bob's production.
So if there's only one, and they've got it, how could we have a Star of Christmas?
Got it! What's going on?
Now you're just stealing all my jokes, Bob. Like a Facebook page that takes videos from YouTube and then posts it on their page as if it's their own content. And then it might add some words like, my life in 2 years. It's not cool, Bob. Not cool.
Would you look at that?
It looks like a turtle.
I'm gonna say it's a turtle and not the actual star.
But back then, I'm sure it looked like an exquisite star.
It looks like a turtle.
Yeah, I'm trusting Larry's judgment here and saying that he is right.
Milward, do you hear something?
Come on, Larry, after I just backed you up and trusted you. Bob and Larry then proceed to run away from the church's security guard in one of the most unlikely fashion. It reminds me of playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. In fact, watch this and tell me this is not Assassin's Creed VeggieTales.
Why does everyone want their laundry picked up at night all of a sudden? Well, who would have thought we could fall out of the bell tower and live to tell about it?
Crazy, huh?
Are we moving?
Well, maybe not exactly the same.
You have saved me from the Monkey King.
Princess, it was nothing.
I will admit that this show looks pretty good. I mean, it opens in 29 hours, and they just finished casting and finished the script 2 days ago.
And she's so fresh.
I told you the lights were getting out of hand. Well, now, that escalated quickly. As I said before, bound to be an unmitigated disaster. Bob and Larry get thrown in jail, not for burning down the theater, but for stealing the Star of Christmas, which, as Larry said, looks like a turtle. There is another man in the cell with them who, of course, has some words of wisdom to give them. It is too bad that Bob and Larry won't get out of jail in time for Christmas.
It means we aren't gonna press charges.
We're forgiving you. The judge says you can go.
Ugh, leave it to Junior to be the bigger person. Junior, you're making it really hard to not like you. Bob, Larry, Junior, and Junior's dad are all an hour away from the Christmas pageant on foot, and yet it starts in only 10 minutes. But they have a solution. One so crazy, it must be a Christmas miracle to even come close to working.
Seymour, remember how you promised I could take the rocket carriage for a ride sometime?
Yeah?
It's time!
I'm not so sure about this.
Neither am I.
6 through 10, we'll have to get to there. Under no circumstances should you use Rocket 11. Milward, no.
We're not completely out of rockets, Cavus.
No, Milward, no.
Millard, no.
Being late is considered...
Try slowing down!
The brakes only work on the ground!
Prince Frederick, it's an honor having you here, sir.
The honor is mine.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Hold up, this is ridiculous. I don't mean the entire Larry driving sequence. I mean, what were you expecting? Larry has a rocket-powered car. That was going to happen. But look at this crowd. Apparently, the city of London hasn't seen the Star of Christmas in 79 years. 79. It is such a big deal that even the prince came to see it personally. Yet, this was the turnout they had for the show. Bob was worried this entire time about a crowd of 22 people is what I counted, which includes Madame Blueberry, who was in his play. It isn't even a full house, not even close. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the entire crowd is made up of just carrots, with many of them just being clones of each other. Bob really overreacted, to say the least.
You don't have the Star of Christmas.
Well, sure we do. You didn't steal the real Star of Christmas.
We didn't?
No, Bob, you stole a turtle. You should really trust Larry more often. Just not with driving. Junior then puts on the pageant, and as I expected, it's a snooze fest until this one vital scene. beautiful, just mwah, mwah, beautiful. The pageant gets a standing ovation, and Bob learns a valuable lesson that only Jesus can teach us how to love. Not an amazing production with a ton of lights. I am super shocked right now.
The Star of Christmas.
But
It was in my sock drawer all along. I must have sent out the wrong box.
How? What? Why? What? Just carry on.
Carry on.
Bob goes back to the jail and brings the prisoner that he originally was in the cell with some cookies. Then there's 5 minutes of credits. Way to drag out the runtime, VeggieTales. So that was the Star of Christmas. It was a massive step up from the Toy That Saved Christmas. First off, it didn't waste our time. But at the same time, it wasn't one of the best VeggieTales episodes I've seen. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd put it in the top half. Stay tuned, as next time, at the beginning of 2016, we're gonna start off with Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed. We'll be back on our chronological track, and I'm sure this episode will be a massive improvement over the previous Larry Boy episode, if the Star of Christmas is to prove anything about how VeggieTales learns their lessons. Hey everyone, just wanted to clarify that I'm going to be doing the specials at a later date. It's unknown at the moment, but I keep getting a lot of questions about them and comments and such asking. I understand, I have seen The End of Silliness, I have seen other ones, but they're just going to be done at a later date, unspecified at the time, so I'm trying to stay on this chronological track that I got going on right now. Plus, most of the specials are just music, and that's kind of hard to show on YouTube, at least enough to do without getting flagged. But anyways, remember that God made you special, and he loves you very much. Bye!